As of recently, Seafront Studios, the same creators of Empire Clash, have made a new game on Roblox known as Mafia Clash. And today I'm here to discuss how Mafia Clash improved on the failures, or at least flaws, of Empire Clash, in my own opinion. Now, the first thing we need to get out of the way is what are these games? Empire Clash is an MMORPG based around teamwork, with players taking on roles in order to help run an empire, with the eventual goal of dominating control points around the map. Every role is vital, with peasants and blacksmiths and soldiers, peasants collecting resources, blacksmiths turning those resources into weapons, and soldiers hopefully shooting the enemy with said weapons. Which civilian roles don't exactly have access to. Now, while there are roles that aren't necessary, such as the bard or the merchant or the thief, they serve to make the game more fun and add a new layer of complexity or take advantage of one of the game's most important mechanics, the in-game economy. And the reason why all these roles are so important is because of this exact flow where soldiers need weapons, but can't make them themselves, but blacksmiths gotta make them. But blacksmiths can't make weapons without resources. And who has the resources? Peasants, whose literal job is to go out there, chop down trees, and mine ores, and gather all the resources. Now, Mafia Clash is similarly an MMORPG made in the same style of Empire Clash. In it, instead of running an empire, you're part of one of four mafia families, or the police, if you're a good person, I guess. There's also a big change to the in-game resource management, which we'll discuss about later. So you might find yourself asking the question, what's my point? How could Empire Clash have flaws that Mafia Clash fixed? And I'm going to stop beating around the bush. Empire Clash's flaws are numerous. There's three big flaws that I've noted. And the first of them is the map is way too big. Particularly, there's no way to navigate around this large map, because there's only two methods of traveling, which is fast travel and walking with your own 2 feet. And this means that getting anywhere around this map is a massive chore. You want to go out for wood or stone, you gotta walk 10 minutes to get there, spend 10 minutes gathering that resource, and 10 minutes getting back. And if you need to get somewhere in the middle of the map and back to home base to buy something because smaller shops are just out, spend anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes navigating back to your home base, or die of starvation on the way there because your team hasn't unlocked or can't afford fast travel. And the sheer size alone isn't the problem. It's the fact that there's no way to really mitigate this travel time that doesn't require your team to already spend copious amounts of time. If there were horses, or fast travel was something you started with, or even if the maps were just smaller, all these would just be more bearable. And another flaw in Empire Clash is an over-reliance on players willing to work as a team, getting stuck with boring roles. If not enough players are focusing on making weapons, because that's the part of the... if not enough players are smiths, you'll have shortages of tools, and most smiths focus on making weapons because, well, that's the exciting part of the game. And as a result, players who don't care about doing those things just to get the fun part of the game are stuck bored because guns are sold out, or because they can't get better tools to make more money, because blacksmiths focus on weapons. And the third thing is that extra territories have no real value aside from winning the game, and once you have the territory, there's no reason to really care about it. There's no bonus for capturing, logging, or mining camp. There's no potions to get out of the wizard tower, and Fort Dogfort's just good for being cinematic and good at defending. Meanwhile, capturing is no fun either, because you're stuck sitting in a freaking rocking chair like an old grandma with a shotgun on the front porch, waiting until the meter finally fills up. And while these are some of the few flaws of Empire Clash, there are large flaws that are omnipresent. You can't ignore them, because waiting around at a resource point or a control point is core to the gameplay. The in-game resource economy is part of the core of the gameplay by forcing teamwork, and the lack of vehicles is part of the immersion, which, unfortunately, there's not much you could do to get around that. Mafia Clash improves on Empire Clash's formula in 3 ways: shortening travel time, giving territories, or neighborhoods as they're now called, a real purpose, and encouraging independence among players in the resource system. In Mafia Clash, instead of having to walk everywhere, you get access to cars. But of course, cars are expensive, and new players may want to save their money rather than drop it $25. After all, how else are you going to afford a nice gun instead? Thus, Mafia Clash, in response, gives you access to the bike. A cheap $1 option that, while it can only carry one piece of cargo and isn't as fast as a car, is still faster than walking and makes getting around the neighborhood easy enough, or at least the starting area. And with this addition of vehicles, the map is also a lot smaller in comparison to Empire Clash, meaning travel doesn't feel like a long slog, but it's nice and quick. To also get to there in a more reasonable time, there's variation among vehicles, adding more strategy. Want more cargo? Get a J truck, but that leaves you at the risk of getting shot. Want more cover? Then get the A models, which are faster and have head cover, but also means you can't carry as much cargo. Next improvement a Mafia Clash makes is giving control points a purpose, making and capturing them fun, primarily by beating up the shop owners. In Mafia Clash, control points are called neighborhoods and are areas of interest that you must get a hold of in order to win the game, getting 6 to get a domination victory. However, unlike Empire Clash, which they have no other purpose other than winning, they give a sort of bonus, which is particularly in the offshoot islands neighborhoods like Fujitown, Pachamama, Altavita, and Vince have soda factories that passively make important soda producing goods like fizzy water and sugar. However, the mainland factories, such as the Financial District, Tribune Square, and Queen's Corner, have factories that make a more special kind of soda that sells more money in comparison to those produced in the offshoot islands factories. Thus, there's more incentive to capture them to produce soda or get resources for soda production. And of course, while you can't really do this for main base HQ, there's already a lot of fun given that you are shooting at another person as you're capturing another control point or defending your control point, literally fighting for your life. So I don't really think you need any more dopamine there. But to capture the bases, you might notice you need weapons. And there's no blacksmiths in this game, so how do you get weapons? This is where players' independence is encouraged. Mafia Clash's role system is a little different. While roles are important, you can basically do anything as any role, with the exception of purchasing certain weapons. But you may get bonuses. Both ex-convicts and mafiosos can bully shop owners to capture points. Both janitors and veterinarians can steal from the port, bank, or police stations. And anyone can illegally brew and sell soda for the top dollar. This means that if you really need more guns for your team, you don't have to wait for someone to steal or import them. You can go to the port or police station, snag them yourself, and pray you don't get shot in the process yourself. The only real incentive to change roles is to fit a certain gameplay style, and the only role that's considered worse than all the others is ex-convicts, because they can't buy revolvers, the only non-military class gun, or use cars, the fastest way to get around and transport cargo. It doesn't matter if you're not a mafioso, because car experts and veterinarians are still vital for the team, with vets healing teammates and car mechanics patching up vehicles that have been shot up. Now, is Mafia Clash perfect? No. No, of course not. In comparison to Empire Clash, I personally don't like the new diplomacy system, where instead of just sending a letter like Empire Clash to declare war or make an offer, you have to physically get your leader to find the opposing team's leader and have them exchange briefcases in order to make a deal with them. But this is a personal opinion, and if you don't like that, that's perfectly fine. You can not like my opinion all you want. I'm just a random guy on the internet, so you can probably take my opinion with a grain of salt and get away with it without any consequence. However, I feel that in comparison, while Empire Clash is a great game, Mafia Clash has certainly improved a lot from the original formula.